High vibration, sweet babies. Okay, so I have a little bit of a late night reading. I'm going to do one more card pull before I get myself cozy in bed. But this one is pretty interesting. What I'm really seeing is that in the next few days here, probably while Mercury retrograde is wrapping up and we go through its shadow period, there's going to be a couple things that go down, and it's all part of the journey, right? It really is. And ultimately it's a journey towards more stability, towards healing, probably particularly mother wound things or things regarding motherhood. And remember, you can't rush your healing, but you can also let things be easy. You can open up your heart to the idea of things working out and just going well and being easy for you, because I feel like it's been kind of hard for you to move on from a situation that might feel like deja vu, or deja vu just in general might be coming up, and being some kind of like signifier or notion that you're in the right place or you're on your journey, on your path. Journey is a big symbol here. But yeah, there's just something that you have trouble moving on from. And for me, it feels like, there's some kind of avoidant attachment, something regarding emotional distance, someone who's emotionally unavailable. And, this might be a theme that kind of like shows up over and over again in your life. It just shows up in a couple different ways and maybe in multiple relationships. And I think it's really important to discern when it's time to move on from the situation, let go of the situation, and when it might be time to like let it out and speak on it and speak your truth. But I see this being in more so in some places, just kind of speaking your wishes over the situation. Wanting more love, wanting more connection is not a bad thing, and speaking to that I don't think is a problem. Sometimes it takes letting go either way for that type of thing to happen. I do feel like this is ultimately going to help in some connections, some romantic connections potentially. But I do see that there is kind of a little bit of an issue with cycles being repeated, and just feeling like things are kind of playing out in almost kind of a predictable way, but not in the way that you want it to go. I see that there's like maybe a little bit of childish nature, childish quality to the way something's being handled. Maybe even someone is seeing you as childish or immature, and this could be regarding travel, a trip. This is like maybe not an ideal situation in somebody's eyes. It just seems like it might be a disruption on someone's journey, or it just feels like there could be some kind of thing that goes on regarding a trip, maybe on the trip, or something that feels like a little bit icky or like difficult to navigate. This could be between different relationships. This could be interpersonal, and I think ultimately what I'm seeing here is that it really is coming from a place of someone really caring about you and actually having a lot of really important love to offer you. And this isn't coming from a place of vanity. It isn't coming from a place of like shallow things. I think that there's some repressed stuff going on, maybe for you or the other person or both parties. And because of this, there's just fear that shows up, fear around home life, fear around money situation, being a provider, having like an internal commitment to something or someone, and feeling as if there's some kind of I don't know, maybe it just feels like there needs to be kind of conversation that needs to be had, or connecting through text message or reflecting on a text message or something along those lines in the next couple of days just might be important. Like the things that you're saying through text messages or things that are being said to you through text messages might be important. Because honestly, it's a great way to show love, like just little messages, things like that, because I'm really feeling like a lot of love coming from this person, but you know, they might feel like sometimes you're risky, like you're a risk, being with you is a risk, or maybe you feel like they're a risk, or vice versa, you know, whatever. And it's just, there's a lot of like distrust and struggle to open up the heart, a lot of projections, fears, all these ideologies, but realistically, I really just don't think any of those things need to be on the forefront of anyone's mind or being really worried about in general. I think this is just really a reading about how disillusioned we can become sometimes with our own thoughts and our own beliefs about the way we're going to be treated or the way that people are going to, show up to us or some way. I do also feel like somebody inside of the home that you're in at some point in the next couple days here, there is going to be like some shadiness, like some shady, and it feels kind of catty, very catty sister wound stuff. So be mindful of that, please, and don't let it take you out of your highest and greatest good. And also, don't let other people take you out of the connection that you have to your own feminine energy by putting you in a place where you feel like you have to show up catty. Like, that's really a disgusting thing. If someone tries to pull you out of something that's so beautiful and so sacred, or maybe they're not even trying to, but they're certainly not trying not to. You know what I mean? Like, there definitely is more that can be done. Just more honor, more sacredness around the idea of women being supportive and in connection and loving one another. And for whatever reason, if there's like anything that gets in the way of that and it just doesn't need to be there, like fuck that thing entirely, bro. Like, that's just so fucked. Like the same way like brotherhood and having your bros, or like having that connection or to like manhood and like the man's experience, the same is true for like the feminine. And it's like, you don't mess with those things. Like, you just don't mess with certain things like that. It's really a spiritual experience, and anything that like is getting in the way of you feeling really connected to that is really just not, it's a low vibrational thing that needs to be worked through. Okay, some significant numbers for you: 12, 12, 111, 36, 222, 33. I'm also going to throw in 67 just for the fun of it. All right. that's just a little reading for you. It's some things that were coming through, and like I said, I'm going to go and hop over and do a different sort of vibe right now. So thanks for listening.